nothing like living a simple life. Something out those aches and pains from working on the farm.
Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms in the mountains, North Carolina. Tonight, I wanted to show you this. This is the Timeusb 12 volt 200 amp hour lithium ion battery, and it is a big girl, and it is pretty cool. I'm going to take it out of the box here in a second and show it to you. But the neat thing about this is you can take two single 100 amp hour batteries, and you have to have the wiring to go between it, and it becomes a little more complicated. Well, with this, one battery, twice as much power, which is actually 4 times the power of the same amount of lead acid batteries. A 100 amp hour lead acid battery is actually only dischargeable to half its rated capacity, so that's 50 amps. So it would take 4 50 amp lead acid batteries to equal one of these. You start doing the math on the price, and this is actually the same price. So there's no reason to invest in older, obsolete tech like lead acid or AGM batteries at this point. This technology has really come a long way. So let me go ahead, I'll open the box up, I'll show you what we got. And product manual, again, 12.8 volts at full charge, 200 amp hours. And it's got some pretty cool stuff. I love the art on some of these battery I review, and like, you know, you just get some interesting characteristics here. But this is 200 amp hour. It's from the Shenzhen Newton New Energy Technology Company. It does have terminal posts, and charging voltage 14.4 plus or minus 0.2 volts. Maximum continuous load power is 2,560 watts. Maximum continuous charge / discharge is 200 amps, so it can handle quite a bit. And I'll say, you know, I do a lot of manuals and check a lot of these things out. This is pretty good. Right, so the manual here, and I'll get a little closer here so you can see some of this, is actually really well done. Extremely good English. It has input charge and discharge rates for using it with a solar charger. I mean, it even talks about controllers there, so you know how many amperage you can have the controllers. There's temperature warnings in there, capacity and charge voltage are listed. And it does talk about, and this is important, and again, if you're thinking about setting up a system and you want to have more overall reserve capacity, you're limited. So 4 batteries in parallel and 4 batteries in series is about as far as you're safely allowed to go. So if you have a battery now that's 200 amp hours, well, now we have doubled the amount of available amp hours. And so it talks about that some. 48 volts at 200 amps in series, or 12 volts at 800 amp hours in parallel. That's not a small amount, my friends. That is not a small amount. It does say to connect these batteries up to wear insulated gloves, because we are getting into amperage that will easily kill a human being, and that's not a good thing. And it talks about parallel. I mean, it's really, I'm impressed. Series and parallel, so you're looking at 8 of these batteries altogether, would be 48 volts at 400 amp hour. That is a huge, huge amount of juice. And here's 24 volts at 800 amp hour. So they have all the different connections that you would need and how to set that up safely. So really great manual. And then it kind of has this one here, which is the like quick beginner's guide here. And I love the little character here. Well, check it out. This little guy here that's doing his things. Here's the mistakes he makes. Don't take it apart, that kind of stuff. So pretty cool that they do that. You know, if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm a huge supporter of off-grid stuff. I think that we all need to be more prepared for when the power goes out. And you know, I know this stuff can be expensive. I got into this and started to get my system set up, and oh boy, did it cost me a fortune. If I had known now if I'd known then what I know now, well, I would have saved a fortune. That's no doubt about it. I did invest in lithium, but the time that I got in to putting a lithium setup here at the house, these batteries were unobtainium. I think Battleborn had just come out with the 100 amp hour battery, and it wasn't a cheap adventure. I think each one of those was, and probably still is, right around $1,000. And that's just too much. This by itself, which is twice that amount of juice, is less than half that amount of money, and that's why these things are awesome. So it does have some really cool carrying handles here. I might be struggling with it. I'd say that's probably 40, 50 pounds, maybe 40 pounds. It's not terrible, but it certainly isn't lightweight. Lithium iron phosphate battery, you can see Even has some information here. You can go to their website and check that out. Really not a whole lot to note on the battery itself. They just do what they do. Up here on top, take off our protective caps. And we've got, it comes with 4 for some reason, at least this one did. So it comes with 4 of these. I'll screw those on for right now. And that is probably where we'll leave this. Look, let me talk to you about a simple setup. That's where I'll end this. A battery like this with 400 watts of solar panels like these, hooked to a simple $10 or $11 solar charge controller like this, and rounded out with a power inverter like this, will give you a system that can power your refrigerator for, well, eternity. I'm not joking. Average refrigerator requires no more than 100 watts to run a modern refrigerator. So think about the cost of this setup. Then think about the cost of food right now, especially if you have a deep freeze. And then think about what it's going to be like to lose all that when the power goes out. And then think about how a system like this will make that never happen. And that's how easy it is to run one of these. Plus, you're going to save money. If as far as you go off grid is just powering your refrigerator or deep freeze off of a setup like this, you're still going to save money. In the long run, yes, it takes a few years to pay back all the equipment, initial setup and all that stuff. But once it's set up, every day the sun is out, it charges this battery. And every night it runs off of this battery and makes you have that peace of mind. And I'll tell you what, I've lost food in a freezer during Hurricane Fran years ago. And my poor mom lost all of her deep freeze during a power outage last summer when they had a storm roll through. Couple days, usually get 24 hours, things start to thaw out. She went 72 hours, and that was just a little bit too long, so it's all gone. I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these, and get one, please. If you don't get this, get something that is going to allow you to protect yourself when the power goes out. Till next time, my friends, take care.